You ever feel just stuck? Well, today we're going to break down a really powerful idea, something you can actually use that might just totally change how you look at your day. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a tool that's so simple you might overlook it, but it is so powerful for changing your mood, your mindset, your motivation. It's all inspired by the amazing work of Chris Judd, and she shows us how something as basic as a sticky note, a sticky note, can completely change your life. And believe it or not, this all kicks off with a story from way back. We're talking the era of industrial giants, when a single good idea could literally be worth a fortune. So, this consultant, Ivy Lee, walks up to the John D. Rockefeller and makes this huge promise that he can boost productivity for his entire company. And his method? It sounds almost too simple. He told them, every single night, just write down the 6 most important things you have to do tomorrow. That's it. And then you work on them in that order. If you don't finish, no big deal. Just roll it over to the next day's list. Now get this. Think about what Rockefeller thought this was worth. That check he wrote to Ivy Lee? In today's money, that would be about $4.5 million. I mean, that's just mind-blowing. All for a simple 6-item to-do list. And this is where the light bulb goes off, right? It makes you wonder. If a simple list on a piece of paper can be that powerful for organizing your workday, what if you use that same idea to organize your life, to tackle the bigger stuff? So this was the very first note that Chris Judd put up on our wall. It's a quote from a writer named John Morrow. And his story is incredible. After an accident that left him unable to move anything but his face, his first thought wasn't despair. It was, this is my life now, what's next? Wow, talk about a powerful way to look at things. Just pure forward momentum. Okay, so why does something so simple actually work? I mean, it sounds almost silly, right? A sticky note? But it's not magic. It's actually backed by some pretty solid neuroscience. It's all about how our brains are wired. It all starts with this idea of a mental diet. You know how a flamingo isn't born pink? It gets that color from what it eats. Well, our brains are kind of the same way. If you're constantly feeding it negative stuff, the news, doom scrolling, your outlook is going to get pretty gray. A sticky note is like a multivitamin of positivity for your brain. So check this out. There are actually 3 things that happen in your brain when you do this. First, the note becomes like an external hard drive. It gets the thought out of your head, which frees up so much mental space. Second, the actual physical act of writing helps, slurp that information right into your brain's memory center. And third, all the little choices, the color of the note, the pen you use, that creates even more layers, making the memory stronger. And here's the game changer. Once that thought is out of your head and on the paper, you can look at it differently. You can reframe it. So that nagging feeling of, I'm procrastinating, can become, no, that's not procrastination. It's project management. And just like that, you've completely changed how you see it. Okay, so let's get practical. How do you actually do this? What do you write, and where in the world do you put these things to make them work? Literally, you can write anything. Quotes from your favorite shows, something smart you said once that you want to remember, even a nice thing a client said to help you fight off that imposter syndrome, or just something super simple like, I know what I'm doing. The only rule, it has to mean something to you. That's it. And where do you put them? Everywhere. Stick one on your bathroom mirror so it's the first thing you see. Put one on your computer screen, on the fridge, in your car. The idea is to just pepper your environment with these little reminders so you're constantly bumping into them throughout your day. All right, you ready to take this to a whole other level? There's a little trick, a way to make these messages even more powerful, just by changing one little word. Okay, so pick a message. Let's use worth it. You're going to write it 3 ways. First, in the first person, I am worth it. That's for you. That builds your own self-belief. Then second person, you are worth it. That's like hearing it from a friend, right? And finally, the third person, using your actual name, like Chris is worth it. That makes it feel like an objective fact, like something the universe is stating. When you do this, you're not just reinforcing the idea once. You're heading it from 3 different angles, creating 3 separate pathways in your brain for the same idea. It just makes it sink in so much deeper. It's like a triple whammy of positive reinforcement. So, where's this all going? How can a bunch of sticky notes lead to a real transformation? Well, what's so cool is that this whole system maps perfectly onto a classic psychological idea you've probably heard of. This is the amazing part. This little habit can support you on every level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Seriously, down at the bottom, your basic needs, a recipe on the fridge. A step up to safety, a note that helps you feel in control. Then you get to love and belonging. That's where those testimonials come in. Then esteem. I am enough. And it takes you all the way to the very top, to self-actualization, where you're surrounding yourself with the ideas that push you to be your best self. Because in the end, this isn't about some quote you saw on Instagram. This is about you taking control. You become the curator of your own mind. You pick the words that matter. You write them down. And you build your motivation from the inside out.
So, you gotta remember, this is way more than just decorating your wall. This is about intentionally directing your own life. You're designing the person you want to become, one little colorful sticky note at a time. So, the only question left is, what's the first message your wall needs to tell you tomorrow?